will I ever meet them? And when am I going home? Am I going home? Which I think I'm going home in my present physical form.
Johanna?
Well, I think there's, I think there's lots of people like you scattered about.
Will I ever meet them, or probably not?
Well, when you worked on, what did you say, in 81 on the nuclear project, where was that?
From 1989 to 2011.
Oh. Where was that? What state?
I started off at the home nuclear plant here in Florida for 3 years. Yeah, 3 years and 3 months, and then there was a company-wide layoff. And then I worked at the Savannah River site for 9 months in the Savannah, on the Savannah River there, and Aiken, South Carolina. And then I worked from there. When I came back here in '94, I started going on the road as a nuclear contractor.
Hi.
Okay,
Theresa, you want to check over for a couple minutes? I'll be right back. You take the helm.
Okay, yeah,
I'll
sure.
be back in a few.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Hi, Suzanne and Johanna. Johanna, she's a very high level. I don't know that we have a universal name for her intelligence, and she's helping us in ontology for sure. But what I saw universally as a psychic is she was working with people. They were, like, for me, she's one of the gatekeepers of one of the portals that we can, I don't know how to say it because she has all this knowledge of black holes, and I have a lot of universal knowledge. So I work in a lot of universes and realms, like we were talking about seeing people, in other realms. So you can help us, Johanna, because she's looking for specific, hopefully people similar with her level, but she's such a high level energy and being, plus super intelligent and nuclear down here. I really feel like talking to Susan, and I've got the advantage because I've talked to her off radio. But Johanna, I sort of asked her to come on tonight to help us out. I see her she's working with some people that were on the other side of the sun in this reality. So Johanna, you and I haven't really had a chance to talk about my higher level, but I work in universal levels like she does. But in the Milky Way galaxy, I had seen her as one of the protectors of what we call, it used to be, they called portals. But, this would jump from ghost stories to realms to, I don't know, Johanna, this is hard. This may be I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Susanna's really high level intelligence with a lot of knowledge of the universes and the brains and then the galaxies, and she works with a lot of people that talk different levels. Johanna, do you have any way to do that type of psychic work yourself, Johanna?
Well, what I see about when you said about meeting somebody, I see you work mostly in the South of the United States.
Yeah,
that
I live
area. And I see
that's where I live.
the circle for you to be is actually along the Canadian border. And I have no idea why I see that as a, flip side to it. But that's the first thing that I saw when you asked about connection with other people. Here.
Well, to be specific, I come from our Factanum universe, and I can tell you exactly how I figured that out. I was actually told that by my elders from the Factanum universe, because I have a symbol on a part of my body, okay, on an extremity of my body. I have a symbol, and for a long time I never knew what that symbol meant, and I got it back in '82. When I was in Tully Trucks in New York. September 12th, 1982. I remember it exactly. And I remember the scene and everything. There was a lot of UFO activity up there at that time. And the symbol, I didn't know what it meant, but it was a very clear symbol. It's a small letter F laying on its side. Well, and with a square underneath it with a hook on the square. Okay, well, anyway, I never knew what that meant. Well, back in 2015, I had a dream or a scene where the elders from Refactanum universe were on a colony ship, and it was just outside of the Aldebaran star system in Taurus, and they specifically told me, they said, come here a minute, and there are 3 elders, and they're like 6.5 to 7 foot tall, but they're not the tall whites, and they're not the tall grays either. And they specifically told me the symbol on your ankle means you're from Refactanum universe. That's where you're from. That's your home universe, and that you're here to do dimensional work or something, which you've done. And they said, we'll tell you more about what the other symbols mean, but right now there's a lot of chaos and confusion right now, so we'll meet you a later time. Well, they left. And the reason was because I was playing with these 4 foot tall dimensional, they're like Kermonians or something like that. And they do a lot of dimensional work, and they do dimensional hide and seek and tag, and I play dimensional games with them. It's a form of recreation that we do. And I don't know, for some reason they're very close to me, and they really enjoy my company. And I'm supposed to be one of the head leaders up there in the several councils. But just because we're really high up there doesn't mean we isolate ourselves from the common population. We interact with them. We're very proactive in our missions and wars and stuff. We don't isolate ourselves in a cubicle like the Washington, D.C. We're very proactive in every project that we do, energetically wise, supplying force and everything else, meaning energy force to enhance the other fleets and stuff. But anyway, later on, I was told what that symbol means. And then I looked up a spiritual group. There was like 4 spiritual signs on the spiritual website on YouTube, and I picked that symbol, and it means warrior. And I've been told several times by several different people that don't even know each other that I'm a warrior, that I'm a light warrior, and I do a lot of good. I think I'm the only one here for. Anyway, we came from the Refactanum universe through the fast track system, and it empties out to what they call the Orion Stargate system, which is it opens up behind Orion's belt, and it feeds off into like Taurus and Cassiopeia. I know my astronomy. Yeah. I used to study the constellations. That's how I can name it. And the other part of the portal opens up in Bootes, which is where that void is. And also Hercules and Lyra and especially Cygnus, which Alpha Draconis portal is. I was told it was there by a person named Deborah Hellman. So anyway, we work all these dimensional systems. We set up fast track systems. We change navigational routes. And I fly any kind of ship that there is up there. Our name in our language is called Svari, S-V-A-R-E, or S-V-A-R-I, Svari. And it means navigator and loose terms in English. But it means it's the ability to fly any different type of ship, because it's not really flight like you have it down here. It's like energy projection and harmonic resonance and a hyper-coupling and everything like that. But it's hard to explain it. You change from physical to energy and back into physical again using Sullivan wave mechanics, light harmonic resonances, and hyper and projection or harmonic resonance projection. This is all. I had to use particle physics terminology to describe what we're doing. Well, anyway,
I'm aware of some of those things.
And I don't use them in the same context that particle physicists use either. My understanding of black holes and.
Oh, I'm sorry, Susanna. Go ahead. That was a delay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm back. Do you need me? Theresa, do you need me? I'm back.
Yeah, if you don't mind. I was just wanting to ask Susanna and Johanna a question because they're in a high level. Well, Susanna's, her highest level, or one of her high levels. But Johanna said she was familiar. So I was going to ask Johanna because I would really like Janet, our help with this weekly show. of getting to talk in 2021, this higher level that a lot of people don't understand. Susanna is very good at articulating some of the stuff I know, but not all of it. And plus, she studied this constellations. But Johanna, were you going to tell Susanna? I thought I heard you say you were familiar with some parts of that. So this would be a really good time for us to talk about, all the councils, because we don't all know each other. We're just meeting on the planet. Janet's met a few men, but we haven't really met too many women. The highest universal, all the different universes coming together. Johanna and I work at 7 universal levels, and I've started trying to talk to Suzanne on at least a couple of them. And Janet's talked to me on at least on a couple of universal levels. But Johanna, could you tell us what you said you were familiar with, so we can see if it resonates with Suzanne?
No, but I have dabbled in that, not to the level of Suzanne. I've, read and studied some of those things, but it's not really. It did not. That is not my path. And but I do understand it, and I do know it exists, and I understand what you're saying. Is what I was saying.
Wow.
But that's.
Well, good for you. That's what Suzanne needs. She needs somebody that at least can understand some of it, because I try, and Janet tries, and Janet and I get an argument, but we're trying to understand. But, it's like a drop in the ocean. Each one of us is a drop, a little drop, and we're trying to, figure out how to talk to each other.
So the thing that I was
Johanna.
saying, because obviously she's looking for people like her, Susanna. Am I getting that right?
Yeah,
somebody
I'm
that
looking
you can
for
relate to?
People that claim that are from Cygnus and remember their past lives in Cygnus, or Taurus, and what is now the Crab Nebula that used to be called Budokan before it went supernova.
Yeah, I think the person that I would recommend for you to get in contact with is Lisa Renee. Do you know her?
No.
She has a website, Energetic Synthesis. But she does a lot of kind of work that you do, and I think, looking for people that are more like-minded, that might be a really good person for you to get in touch with.
Lisa Renee. I've heard that name. That resonates with me. Lisa Renee.
I'll look it up.
Okay, thank you, Jan.
The website is Energetic Synthesis.
Energetic Synthesis, okay.
I've heard of that because somebody else was helping me at one time with ontology. Go ahead, I'll mute.
And also, Susan, when you guys were talking, I got a vision that when you start speaking at conferences, and you will be speaking, that people are going to come up and they'll tell you about their connections too. And that's where you're going to meet your tribe. So what do I know? But I saw a clear vision of you speaking and people coming up and going, oh, same with me. Because yours is not one of the common planets or species that people mention. So, but, the theory is that lots of ambassadors and warriors and things are coming to the Earth because we're going through this high transformational process, like the Ascension process, and we need a lot of help. As you can see right now, we've got lots of disease and wars and rumors of wars and craziness going on here. So a lot of species are sending their ambassadors here to oversee the project and report back. But just because nobody's, reported on your part of the galaxy, first of all, I haven't covered everything, so maybe I missed it. But secondly, you could be the first from there, but you might find another one. They might have sent more. You made a request for backup, so to speak, so maybe they sent them. But if you keep putting it out there energetically, and then you move actively